Early one morning, James was making his way to the shunting yards to fetch his coaches for his passenger run. When he arrived, he saw the little engines feeling rather happy.
Are my coaches ready, guys?
Sorry, James, but we're playing a new game that Billy had just come up with.
What sort of game is that?
You have to blow your whistle as loudly as you possibly can.
It's a great game, James, but only us little engines can play.
Hey everyone, are you all ready to play Who Has the Loudest Whistle?
We sure are, Billy. Thanks for letting me join in.
No problem, Charlie. We are both the same shape after all.
Well, I'm gonna have to find a different spot in the yard so I don't have to hear your annoying whistles. You should all be at work shunting, not playing games.
Why is James always talking like this?
I have no idea, Charlie. Let's just play Billy's new whistle game.
Does everyone have their whistles ready?
We sure have, Billy.
Then let's see who has the loudest whistle.
As the little engine started playing Billy's whistle game, James was getting rather annoyed by the sounds.
Ugh, when will this whistling ever stop?
Here are your coaches, James. Just ignore the others while they're whistling. They're only having a bit of fun.
I know that, Duck. But they should be busy shunting instead of whistling about like a bunch of lunatics.
I know how you feel, James, but you should know there's two ways of doing things. The Great Western Way and
The wrong way, I get it. Just want to get out of this yard already.
Soon, James was making his way to Knapford. He was glad he didn't have to stay at the yards for too long.
This feels more like it. Speeding along the open line without any little engines disturbing me.
When James arrived at Knapford to pick up his passengers, he saw the fat controller and his grandchildren Stepney and Bridget Hatt on the platform.
Hello, sir. Why are your grandchildren here?
I'm taking my grandchildren on a trip to Culdee Fell today, James. But I've promised my wife, Lady Hatt, I'd be back here before tea time.
Don't worry, sir. I could take you and your grandchildren to Culdee Fell. That's one of my stops today, so I'm sure everything will be alright when you get back.
Very well then, James, but make sure you don't show off like always.
When the guard blew the whistle, James puffed away to do his passenger run. As he came to all of his stops, he was still thinking about the whistle game the little engines were playing earlier.
Maybe I should make up a game that only the tender engines can play. That way, the little engines won't have to annoy me with their whistles.
When James arrived at Culdee Fell to drop off his passengers, Culdee was there waiting.
Hello, James. You seem pretty scheming.
That's because I'm coming up with a game that only the bigger engines can compete.
Oh, really? Well, we never have any tender engines on our railway.
That's right, Cody. We mountain engines must stick together.
Indeed, Ernest. I appreciate that.
I'm just gonna take my last load of passengers to Vickerstown. I'll be back later. Bye, guys.
When James arrived at Vickerstown station, he saw Connor waiting for his guard's whistle so he can take his passengers to the mainland.
Afternoon, James. What brings you here in Vickerstown?
Hi, Connor. I'm just dropping off my last load of passengers before I turn around for the journey home.
I see. Well, that's my guard's whistle. I must get going now. Suit yourself, James.
As James watched Connor depart, he soon had another idea.
If I can make up a game of who can pull the longest trains, then it'll teach the little engines a thing or two about making loud whistles. I just need to find some tender engines that should be part of it.
When James pulled into Marin, he saw Rebecca and Gordon waiting for their passengers to embark.
Hi, James. Why do you look like that?
Because, Rebecca, I'm going to set up a game tomorrow morning that only tender engines can take part.
What sort of game is this?
Oh, you wait and see, Gorton.
Next, James saw Emily collecting her load of passengers at Wellsworth.
Meet me at the shunting yard tomorrow morning.
What for, James?
You'll wait and see.
When James returned to Neville that evening, he saw Molly talking with Neville.
Hello, James. What's with the good mood you're in?
Would you two like to take part in a tender engine only game tomorrow?
A tender engine only game?
Yes, Neville. Are you two coming or what?
We can come. We're both tender engines, too.
That's more like it. Now meet me at the shunting yards tomorrow morning.
Molly and Neville were puzzled. The next morning, the tender engines gathered at the shunting yards and waited for James to show up.
Hello, Molly. Did James invite you too?
He sure did, Rebecca. But I wonder where he is.
He's probably still asleep in his shed.
Or maybe he hasn't turned up yet.
Wait! I think I see him coming!
Sorry I'm late, everyone. My fire was too slow to start.
This better be quick, James, because we've got our own jobs to do.
It'll be quick, Gorton. I'm not trying to waste your time or anything.
So what game do you have planned for us, James?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Neville, because we are playing a game of who can pull the longest trains.
How do you play that game?
Well, it's quite simple, Molly. First, you need to gather as many trucks as you can to make one long train. Then, you'll take turns with your partner so they could see on which one is the strongest.
All right, I'll go with Molly.
And I can go with you, James.
What? Does this mean I'm stuck with...
Sorry, Gordon. Looks like you're stuck with me.
Oh, the indignity.
Right, now that's settled, let's start by gathering as many trucks as we can possibly find.
Soon, the big engines spot their partners and started playing the game that James came up with. They went all around the shunting yards, finding as many trucks as they can to make the longest freight trains. Soon, there were 3 long goods trains all lined up in the yards. James was impressed with his game and was pleased with all of the hard work he had done.
This is so much better than that annoying Orange's Whistle game.
James, where do we take all these trucks?
We will all have a race from here to Knapford Station, and if anyone makes it there first, wins the whole competition. Is everyone ready to go?
Yes, we are, James. Let's start the race.
And when the yard manager blew the whistle, the engines were off with their heaviest freight trains. Emily went with James. Molly went with Rebecca. And Neville went with Gordon. It was a long way to Knapford. James was determined to get there before the others. But when the smaller engines arrived at the yards to start their jobs for the day, they were surprised to find there were no trucks in sight.
That's strange. Why is the shunting yard so empty?
Where all have the trucks gone?
We can't work without any trucks.
Well, James did get rather annoyed by our whistle game yesterday. Maybe it was him that took all the trucks.
But how can we find James if he has taken the trucks we need to do our shunting?
Meanwhile, James was enjoying himself enormously. He was pleased that he had made up a game that only the tender engines can complete.
Now I have shown most little engines what we tender engines are best at.
When James and Emily arrived at Knapford, they were the first to win.
We did it, Emily! We've won the whole competition!
Phew! That was hard work being a back engine.
Just then, the Fat Controller arrived. He was very cross to see what was going on.
James, why are all these trucks here?
Sir, I was just...
And why are Rebecca and Gordon pulling goods trains instead of passenger express coaches?
Sir, we were only playing a little game that James came up with.
James, explain yourself.
I'm sorry, sir. I just wanted to make up a game that only tender engines like myself can take part.
There are the missing trucks. Why do you, along with the other tender engines, have them, James?
I already said why, Thomas. That's why we took all of the trucks away from you and the other small engines.
Well, it looks like there's no games for you, James. Not only that, but you've also caused confusion and delay. I have no choice but to send you to the back of your shed for the rest of the day. Everyone else can go back to work with their normal jobs. Thank you, sir. Now I can go back to pulling the express.
James felt very ashamed for what he had done to the smaller engines. That night, he decided to speak up first.
I'm sorry for taking all your trucks away, Thomas.
It's alright, James. We'll forgive you.
And when the next time someone hosts that whistle game, can I join in too?
Yes, you can, James. Billy has decided that the tender engine should take part in the whistling game too.
Oh, why does that annoying orange engine always have to do what's best?
Billy is our friend, James. There's no need to say anything bad about him.
Did somebody say my name?
Oh, great, not you again.
Cheer up, James. You can now join my whistling game whenever you want.
No, thank you. I am done playing games. I'm going back to being a splendid engine like always.
You can say that again, James.
Oh.